SpongeBob SquarePants Mysteries Stage Fright. Chapter 1. Pirates! A biker cried out, pointing his gloved fin at a bloodthirsty crew of buccaneers. Bikers! A pirate spat, waving his cutlass at a menacing gang of motorcycle riders. The two bands of toughs approached each other slowly, scowling and snarling. It looked as though a vicious fight would break out any second. Weapons glinted in the light: swords, chains, tire irons, and cannons. Just as the gangs were about to clash, "And freeze!" a voice called out. The bikers and pirates froze, holding their positions. A swordfish climbed onto the stage. "Not bad. Before we get into the big fight, let's just check in with Mr. Dorado to see what he thinks." The stage was inside a large old theater in Bikini Bottom. The building had seen better days, but the auditorium was still impressive, with seats covered in velvet, wide balconies, and a high ceiling decorated with stars, moons, and planets. A rehearsal was in progress. From the front edge of the stage, the swordfish, whose name was Sharpie, peered out into the dark rows of empty seats, shading his eyes. Though Sharpie was technically in charge of staging fight scenes, each move he came up with had to be approved by the show's director, Mr. Dorado. "How's the lead up to the big dance fight look so far, Mr. Dorado? Okay?" The director sat behind a table set up over a row of empty seats. He was a large, imposing green fish wearing a beret and a scarf. Next to the director, his blonde assistant Emma rapidly wrote down everything he said. Mr. Dorado sighed. "No, Sharpie, it does not look okay." He stood up and walked briskly down the aisle toward the stage. "Pirates!" The actors playing pirates all turned their heads toward the director, afraid they were about to get yelled at for messing up. "Remember, you hate the bikers. I should see it in your faces, in your bodies, your eyes, your ears, your fins." A huge muscle-bound actor looked confused. "Our ears? How are we supposed to show our hatred in our ears?" He tried and failed to wiggle his ears in fury. "Ow! I think I pulled an ear muscle. Oh!" He rubbed his ear, pouting. Sharpie whipped toward the actor. "Shh! Mr. Dorado is speaking." "And you, bikers!" Dorado barked, reaching the end of the aisle. "You look as though you've just arrived for a play date!" One actor playing a biker giggled, but the others all shushed him. "Shh!" Sharpie glared at him. "You're bikers!" the director roared. "You loathe pirates! They make you sick!" "Like this?" one biker asked, clutching his stomach and looking queasy. He started to make gagging sounds. "No!" Dorado screamed. "Pirates don't give you a tummy ache! They fill you with rage! They make you want to fight with every last ounce of strength in your body! That's what I need to see in this number! Homicidal, murderous rage!" He pounded the edge of the wooden stage with his fist. Dust rose and the nearest pirate coughed. "And of course, graceful dancing." "All right, Sharpie," the director said, turning and heading back to his seat in the auditorium. "Teach them the dance moves." Clapping his hands, the choreographer addressed the actors. "Okay, put down your props carefully. We can't afford to replace a prop just because you toss it down carelessly and break it," Sharpie said. The pirates and bikers carefully placed their fake weapons aside. Now all eyes on me, Sharpie continued. First, pirates, knees bent, arms out, center of gravity low. 5, 6, 7, 8. He demonstrated the steps of the fight dance: stomps, kicks, leaps, twirls, and thrusts. Though it was all set in time to music, the choreography really did look like a fight. When it came to fight dances, Sharpie was the best in the business. First he taught the pirates their moves, and then the bikers. After a few repetitions, the dancers seemed to have the basic choreography down, moving back and forth across the stage with less hesitation and more confidence. Again, Sharpie said, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Add the weapons, Dorado bellowed from the house, the part of the theater where the audience sat during performances. Right, Sharpie said. Pick up your weapons. The actors picked up the props they'd set aside. Let's have the two leaders up front. The dancers who played the head pirate and the head biker stepped forward. They were two of the cast's best dancers and two of its biggest. Sharpie described how he wanted the pirate to swing his sword at the biker. Like this? The fish playing the head pirate asked. He swung his sword. Shink! The blade sliced right through the biker's belt and his pants fell to the ground, exposing his flowered boxer shorts. Hey! The biker called out in protest, grumbling to pull up his pants as everyone laughed. Sorry, the pirate apologized, snickering. Sharpie frowned. A prop shouldn't be sharp enough to cut through a belt, he observed. Let me see that sword. The pirate handed the sword to Sharpie. He touched the blade, then quickly pulled his fin back. Ouch! Oh, way too sharp! Holding the sword up to the light, he examined it. Wait a minute. This isn't a prop sword. This is a real sword! A real sword? The pirate asked. If the swords were real, we're going to need way more pay. One of the bikers raised his hand. How did a real sword get mixed in with the prop? Boom! A pirate cannon blasted a heavy cannonball right through the wall of the theater, leaving a gaping hole. Oops, an actor at the far side of the stage apologized. Sorry, but it wasn't my fault. He pointed at the smoking cannon in front of them. This isn't a prop cannon. It's a real cannon. What is going on up there? Dorado shouted as he raced down the aisle toward the stage, gesturing wildly toward the hole in the backstage wall. Are you trying to destroy my theater? That wouldn't be hard, one of the actors playing a biker murmured. It's in pretty rough shape. A few of the actors around him giggled. Everyone freeze! Sharpie yelled. The performers froze in place. He turned to the director, who was breathing hard from his angry sprint down the aisle. Mr. Dorado, luckily nobody's hurt, but it seems as though somebody has switched real weapons for the props. Real weapons? Dorado hissed. Who in the salty seas would do that? Sharpie raised his fins and shook his head. He had no idea. It was a mystery. Stay tuned for Chapter 2, coming up soon.